Well, it wasn't a great start to the season in terms of performance, but it was a fantastic start in terms of results. And that is ultimately right now all I care about. Let's be very honest, Arsenal fans, you will agree with me. We were terrible. We were really, really bad today, but we still scraped a win at Old Trafford. This is a really tough opening fixture. A lot of people will agree with me, even though Manchester United are not the same club anymore and they've been struggling for a little while now. Last season, finishing 15th, they had it was an awful season. It's still a fixture you look to and think, ooh, I do. I always think Old Trafford, mental block. It's a really difficult place to go for us. Some other teams just see it as an easier game these days, and I understand why. You know, a lot of teams go to Old Trafford these days and actually win games, get points. And over the last few years, Arsenal have started to do that. It's becoming a consistent result for us now, which is really, really good because for years and years and years, just like Anfield still is to this day, it's a horrible, horrible place for us to go to. But we got the win despite playing badly. So I do want to talk about Manchester United considerably because look, I could talk about how bad Arsenal were, but I do want to touch on United because they had such a poor season and they were I mean they were one game away from rescuing it, of course. They could have rescued last season with that win against Tottenham, but it didn't work out for them. And you look at their lineup, they've improved in the attacking part of the pitch. I wouldn't say they've done much defensively, and of course they've gone into the game without Onana. Some argue that that's a good thing for them. For sure, they need a better goalkeeper, no doubt about it. For me, they should be getting a new midfielder to play next to Fernandez. I think you got Ugarte came on and did okay, but Casemiro, you can tell he's got it up here, but he just doesn't have it everywhere else anymore. But what we saw today was a team that had a point to prove. They couldn't quite get it today, but performance wise, they were the better team. And I know that means nothing now the game's finished. The game's done. They didn't get anything from it, and it's ultimately another loss at home. But I just want United fans, if there are any watching, I'm sure there's a few of you, to at least take some positivity from this because it's not easy playing against Arsenal. I think every team knows it's one of the tougher games because Arsenal are just so good at controlling the game and keeping possession, but we couldn't do any of it. We couldn't string together 10 passes. Manchester United were the better team. The worst team won the game. But that's football and champions, worthy champions win games when struggling and that's what Arsenal need to do more of. I don't think we'll get even close to Liverpool or maybe even Man City if we play like we did today for the majority of this season. We were just out of it today, and Manchester United were much, much better. So I would like to make a prediction here. I think Manchester United will finish in the top eight. Oh wow, what a prediction! But come on, guys, they were 15th last year. That is a big jump up for them. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. I know it sounds disrespectful, but a top eight finish for United this season would be seen as success, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Really impressed with Cunha. I don't know how he's only got a 6.4. I mean, he probably deserved to score. That would have helped. Um, he is going to be an elite player for Manchester United. And Buemo obviously is going to be a good player, and you can see he's got it about him. He's quick, he's athletic, he's good in the air as well. Almost scored a header, and he will score goals this season. Of course, Mason Mount wasn't really he's not going to be playing a big part of this season, is he? Sesko came on, or Sheshko, should I say? Shesko. Every little helps. Um, he's also going to be a good player for them. He obviously didn't look particularly sharp today, but I think just in general, United going forward, they're going to be fine this season. Right, have I talked enough about United? Almost half this video is going to be United, but I wanted to because I know that the United fans will be so disappointed that they've lost this game when they should have got more. Um, it's going to be a long process for them, but that looked good today. Let's talk about what Arsenal did right today. I wasn't happy with the lineup at first. I didn't think Ben White would be starting at right back. I was sure we'd see Timber. But credit due, where credit's due. Ben White was fantastic today, and although Calafiori probably did have the better game in the end, and we'll talk about Calafiori in a minute, Ben White was a big surprise for me. I wasn't expecting it from Calafiori or Ben White. I just assumed that Timber would start, and that's what we're going to go with for the rest of the season, as long as he's fit. And to be fair, Timber came on and did look good, but Ben White, really, really impressed with him today. He had a great game. I thought his interchanging with Erdegaard, Saka, and actually the way Ben White would drift into midfield a little bit, interchanging with Zubamendi, Gyökeres would drop deep. I was really impressed with Ben White. I think he had a great game. Saliba and Gabriel, it's a clean sheet at the end of the day, and they made some good tackles. They were really having to defend well today, but they were poor. They really did not have a very good game. I'm hoping they can get back to their absolute best soon because, yeah, on another day, we get punished for sure. Calafiori, I said I'd mention him. I mean, the goal, you could argue he's just in the right place at the right time. And I think it was going in anyway, and he's just kind of nodded it in. But he was absolutely fantastic today, regardless. So, so good. And I might, maybe some people remember this. I might get some comments about this. I said it towards, I think it was just before preseason started, and I said, going into the new season, I want Calafiori as our starting left back. And everyone was saying, no, Mars Lewis Skelly, come on, he's been brilliant. And yes, he has, but you see what I mean? Today, Calafiori was absolutely fantastic. I didn't want to see him come off, but obviously he did have a knock during preseason, and we still have options with Lewis Skelly. You know, he's obviously one of the best young players coming through, and sure, he can play left back as well. But I really believe that Calafiori should be given the start of this season because of the injury problems last year. He didn't get a chance to really prove himself. He was brilliant, really, really good. And Raya, one of his best games in an Arsenal shirt. He has absolutely kept us in the game at times. Some great reaction saves, great punches from corners, and you know, and briefly on the goal. I know a lot of United fans are unhappy that Bayindir was kind of pushed a little bit or obscured when the corner's been whipped in. Raya was too on multiple occasions, and he's punched the ball out. Unfortunately, United fans, I'm going to be really honest, it's a bit brutal, but you just need a better goalkeeper. Yes, there's some shoving. It happens at every corner. There's always players scuffing and barging into each other. You just need a dominant goalkeeper. Raya isn't even the tallest player in our team. He's not a tall goalkeeper at all, but yet he still comes out and claims these. But India just needs to be stronger. I'm sorry. You're not going to get a foul for that. And especially when literally you saw the same thing happen to Raya in the second half on multiple occasions. You've got Delict, you've got Euro right up against him. He's still jumping and claiming crosses. You just need to have a bit of presence and a bit of strength. Bayindir could have absolutely dealt with that. They shouldn't have conceded there. It is what it is. But moving into midfield, I thought Declan Rice was very average today. Didn't really provide anything. Zubamendi, tidy at times, but also didn't do anything special. I think Erdegaard looks much better this season so far. I mean, pre-season and this first game, he's looked a lot better. Saka didn't get a sniff today, so well done to Shaw, and Dorgu was really good. Martinelli, I mean, tracked back, helped defensively, but going forward and some of his passing and just his decision making, it's just not looking good at the moment. See, with Saka, like, okay, his game wasn't great today, but you just know Saka's just had a bad game. Whereas Martinelli, it's just a consistent thing now. But we do need to talk about Gyökeres. I know people are going to be asking me thoughts on him. Um, yeah, he was bad. He was bad. He had a really quite below average game today. I wouldn't say he was awful. You know, we've seen worse performances, of course, but he's new into this team. It is going to take a bit of time. And to be fair, Havertz came on and also struggled to really make an impact in terms of in front of goal. I'd say Havertz got himself involved a bit more, but it's not new to Havertz. He's been playing in this system for a while now. Gyökeres is going to need some time to settle in. But yeah, it doesn't excuse some of the poor play. You know, there's a bit where he got on this left side and basically left the ball behind and lost it. Loose passes, loose first touches, didn't really look like a threat, and it's okay. It's okay. We've won the game, and Gyökeres will take this as a learning experience. I'm sure there's going to be lots that he can watch back and you guys know the team will be on it. You know that the staff will be on that. Gyökeres will be an elite goal scorer for Arsenal. He will. We will create so many chances. I think what it's going to take is one or two games where maybe we're playing at home against a team that sits deep and we can just have a bit more of the ball and he can express himself a little bit because honestly, it comes down to United just being really organized today and keeping it quiet. Gyökeres couldn't do anything. It is what it is. We can have a look at the stats and kind of come to a conclusion here. You know, if you go by stats, of course, United looked like they were the better side, and that would be true. They had a lot more possession, they had more expected goals, they had more shots, more on target. But what I would say is, a lot of it was quite scrappy. It wasn't really structured football at times. There was a lot of fake shots, whip it in the box, or flicks and nodding on headers and giving it to Cunha and letting him go for a run. There wasn't. I feel like when United get this down, they will score a lot of goals. Is what I'm trying to say. It did feel like they were just kind of trying it today, and it wasn't quite working. And of course, they're up against a really strong defense, a really good goalkeeper. It didn't work for them today. But on another day, we're talking about a 3-1 loss for Arsenal, and I'm saying Cunha's bagged a hat trick and was player of the match. And yeah, it could have easily happened. I'm just so proud of Arsenal. The fact that, oh wow, we ran really hard. It's a lot of running. We were chasing the ball today. But I'm so proud that we got this result because it's the first game of the season. People will talk about the performance for a few days and say, yeah, it wasn't good and that United probably deserved to win and we got lucky. But in a few weeks, no one's going to care. It will be, oh, yeah, we won at Old Trafford this season. Tough game, that, wasn't it? And that's it. And ultimately, it's 3 points. So that is my first Operation Arsenal of the new season. I thought about changing it up a little bit, adding some other things, but then I thought, no, do you know what? Unless you guys want me to try and add something, a little bit of spice into this, changing it up, but I thought, why change it? I've been doing it for years, just like this. Right after the game, jump online, get the stats, talk about the game, done, upload. But I thought I could bring back comments, I could do match ratings myself. I don't know. There's other things I can throw in, but of course it means the video won't go up so soon after the game. I do like to capture my emotions. So I just want you guys to know I thought about maybe changing it up this year, but ultimately I've decided to keep Operation Arsenal as it is. This is what I love to do. Straight after the game, bang, my emotions come out. 1-0 win at Old Trafford, 3 points in the bag. Poor performance, but no one cares.